Hi guys, I'm super excited today. We're gonna start make our episodes about animals, dogs and cats, confused beliefs and some confusing questions about them. Today's question is icy water bad for my dog or my cat? Is cold water bad for them? If you think you know the answer, so try to explain it to me. Usually, people say yes or no, and then when you ask them, so why is it bad or why is it good, they don't give you any details. So here is what's gonna happen. I will try to explain to you what happens in their small bodies when they drink cold water or warm water, and then you can figure out if it's good or bad. So the next time when someone asks you that question, you will look like you know a lot about your dog or your cat. Remember, your small friends don't go open the fridge and get cold water for themselves. They don't open the freezer and put some ice in their water. You do the choice for them. You give them the water, so it's our responsibility to know if it's good or bad. Okay, so it's hot, and your dog or your cat is sitting in the sun, the temperature is rising, and they're feeling the heat. How will their bodies react to that? What happens is, there's small tubes carrying the blood from their hearts around their bodies. These small tubes start to become bigger, to allow, or wider, to allow more blood to go through to their legs and hands. Because the legs and hands are the cooler parts, so the blood go to the cooler parts, get cooler, and then come back to inside their bodies, or come back to the middle of their bodies. Those small tubes are called arteries and veins. And the veins carry the blood back into the body to the heart, and then the heart pump it again, and so on. And that's how they start. Well, that's one of the things which will start cooling them down. So what happens if the dog or cat is playing as well on the sun or around a hot and warm place? Their muscles will need more food, their body will need more oxygen and food. So the pump, the heart, will start pushing more blood forward, starting to speed the process so their bodies can get the proper oxygen and food from their blood. So at that point, the muscles around their arteries and veins are relaxed to allow more blood to go through. Their heart is working faster than usual to pump more blood to go through, to cool down the blood and to give their bodies more nutrition, more food. And when this goes on for a while, their bodies start to lose some water through different ways. Actually, this takes us to another question. Do dogs sweat? Well, we'll talk about this in another episode. Actually, I have three subjects lined up for you to choose from for the next episode. One will be, will grass upset my dog's stomach if he eats it, especially on those days when he are playing? The second one is my hairy cat in danger in hot temperature? And the third one is that question we was talking about, do dogs sweat? So anyway, going back to what we was talking about. So at that point, you give them some cold water, icy water, to cool them down. You want to do a good thing for them. So you take some ice and put it in the water. Remember, they didn't do that. You do that to them. They didn't have the choice. So, and then that water goes down a small tube to their stomach and their bodies. So when that cold water goes down these tubes, all the muscles surrounding that tube and the stomach contracts, because the muscles are warm and it's hot, and you put icy water on them, so they contract, and that actually causes a problem. When you hear that you're not gonna be happy. First thing is, sometimes this causes pain to them. Yeah, pain. Because once the muscles around the stomach contracts, you just imagine it yourself. When that cold water goes into a very hot stomach, it contracts, and that's painful. That's one thing. The second point is, the same muscles which are contracting around these tubes, the stomach, will contract around the small blood capillaries. So that heart is pumping blood, and the blood is rushing through these veins, the big veins, and suddenly they just get from so wide to so narrow. So that again causes a load on the heart as well. And the third thing is, if that dog or cat have a heart problem, this could be extremely dangerous for them, because the heart is pumping the blood through these small tubes, which are called arteries, to the extremities, and then they get cooled down there through, and then they come back again into the body through the small tubes called veins. And if the heart is already thick, this is an extra pressure on his heart, and this could really cause, well, I don't want to say it, but it's gonna be really dangerous. I saw this happening before. So what should you do? What is the good practice here? The good practice here is wait for some time until they cool down before you give them icy water, extremely cold water. So if they want water, you want to give them water. You want to do a good thing, give them just normal water, the moderate temperature water, the normal water you drink, not the cold one. And once they cool down and they become back to the normal temperature, and you can see on them that they cool down like half an hour or so, or less, or whatever, average according to the size of the dog or the cat, and it depends on a lot of factors. You can judge it yourself, and then you can give them the cold water. Okay? Is there exceptions here? Well, the exception is if he's playing in the house, around the house, and he goes out to the sun and comes back, and he's around cold and hot areas, and there is cold water there all the time, I wouldn't worry much about this then. But if he is for a long time in the sun and it's extremely hot, or he was playing there as well, or he have a heart condition, I would be more careful about this, because this causes problems more than you think. It's painful, and that pain here will be caused by you. So what I want to say here is ignorance can cause cruelty. So some people could be cruel to their animals and they just don't mean it. So now you know. So the next time someone asks you, you can give them details and tell them exactly why it's wrong at sometimes and why it's okay at sometimes, and you know the details now. I will be making more videos like this. So if you want to watch more, subscribe to the channel, like the video, you can spread it as well to share the knowledge with people. Don't forget to choose one of the 3 subjects I mentioned earlier. They will come on the screen now, so you can remember them. Let me know in the comment which one you choose. Thank you for watching, and see you next episode.